There's been a lot of talk lately about Jakobi Meyers, and this one's interesting. Reports say the Pittsburgh Steelers offered the exact same deal as Jacksonville. So why did Jakobi choose the Jaguars instead? Here's what I think. It all comes down to relationships. Former Raiders wide receiver coach Edgar Bennett, now with Jacksonville, might have played a huge role. Players trust familiar faces, and that connection could have been the difference maker. Plus, Jakobi probably saw a bigger opportunity there. With Travis Hunter out and Brian Thomas Jr. stepping up, Jacksonville looks like a place where he could truly shine. Still, Raider Nation can't help but wonder, could the Raiders have done more to keep him? With the recent quiet stretch since Tom McMahon's firing, this team feels like it's standing on the edge of something big, or something uncertain. And as always, we'll be here to break it all down for you. Every rumor, every move, every whisper inside the Raiders camp. Jakobi Meyers made a bold move, one that says a lot about where the Raiders stand right now. When both the Steelers and Jaguars put the same offer on the table, the choice came down to something deeper than money: opportunity. In Jacksonville, Jakobi saw the chance to be the guy, the top wide receiver, the first read, the go-to option. That's something Pittsburgh couldn't promise, and the Raiders, well, they gave him the respect to make that call himself. And you have to admire that. It shows the Raiders are trying to build a culture where players are treated like professionals, not pieces on a board. Even though losing Jakobi stings, the way both sides handled it, calm, clean, and professional, says this team is maturing. Now, the bigger question: what does this mean for the Raiders' offense? Without Meyers, there's a new opening, a chance for someone to step up, to prove they can fill that role. Maybe it's a young receiver waiting for his breakout moment, or maybe the Raiders already have a plan behind the scenes. Either way, one thing's clear: every move the Raiders make right now is shaping the identity of this team's future. And if they keep that balance of respect and strategy, they might just surprise everyone next season. If there's one thing the Raiders need more than anything right now, it's a quarterback who can define the next era of this franchise. And honestly, that's the biggest mystery surrounding this team today. When you look at the upcoming draft classes, one name keeps coming to mind: a future star who could be the missing piece the Raiders have been waiting for. The kind of quarterback who brings leadership, fire, and poise when the game's on the line. Because let's face it, the Raiders haven't found their guy yet. They've had moments of hope, flashes of brilliance, but no true long-term answer under center. And until that changes, this team will always feel one step away from greatness. What the Raiders need now is more than just talent, they need identity. A quarterback who can walk into that locker room and make every player believe again. Someone who can take the energy of Raider Nation and turn it into momentum on the field. Whether that player comes from the next draft or the one after it, one thing's clear: the Raiders can't afford to get this decision wrong. Because the next quarterback won't just play for the team, he'll define its future. There's one thing Raider Nation knows better than anyone: leadership can make or break a team. And right now, that's exactly where the spotlight falls inside the Raiders' locker room. Across the league, we've seen coaches sending strong messages to their players. But for the Raiders, the message has to be about unity, not fear. Because the moment a coach starts calling out his players publicly, that's when cracks begin to show behind the scenes. The Raiders can't afford that kind of tension right now. This team has already battled through enough: coaching changes, uncertainty, and rebuilding. What they need is a voice that brings them together, not one that divides the locker room. And this is why players like Jackson Powers Johnson stand out so much. He's tough, disciplined, and plays with the heart of a true Raider. He doesn't just show up, he represents what the silver and black stand for: loyalty, effort, and pride. Every great team has a few players who carry the spirit of the franchise, and JPJ might just be that guy. Someone who doesn't need to talk loud to lead. He just works, hits, and bleeds for the team. If the Raiders want to turn this chapter into something special, it starts with players like him, men who actually want to be Raiders. One thing's for sure: Jackson Powers Johnson isn't just another player on the roster. He's a Raider at heart. You can feel it in the way he plays, the way he talks, the way he carries himself on and off the field. When Raider Nation gets behind a player, it means something, and JPJ deserves that love. Because this guy represents everything fans want to see in silver and black: toughness, pride, and loyalty. He's not the loudest voice in the room, but when the game's on the line, he's the one doing the dirty work that keeps everything together. That's the kind of energy the Raiders need more of, not just skill, but spirit. You can tell JPJ wants to be here. And that matters. Because when a player chooses the Raiders, not just for the name but for the fight, that's when you start to rebuild something real. This team is searching for leaders who believe in the culture, not for fame, not for headlines, but for the brotherhood. And Jackson Powers Johnson? He's showing exactly what that looks like. Sometimes, it's not the big moments that remind you why you love this game, it's the small ones. A simple thank you, a few kind words, a gesture that shows you're part of something bigger. That's exactly what the Jackson Powers Johnson family did. Their message wasn't just a thank you, it was a reflection of what Raider Nation is built on: loyalty, connection, and heart. When a player and his family show that much love toward the team, it tells you everything you need to know about his character. JPJ isn't just wearing the uniform, he believes in what it stands for. And that's the kind of foundation the Raiders need right now. Not just stars, but pillars, players you can build around, players who make everyone around them better. It's been a tough season. 2 wins don't tell the whole story. But what's happening behind the scenes, the growing bond, the unity, the desire to bring back that true Raider pride, that's where hope begins. Because at the end of the day, the Raiders have always been about more than football. They've been about family. And with guys like JPJ in that locker room, that spirit might just be making its way back. There's something special about the kind of loyalty the Raiders are building right now, the kind that reminds you why this team means more than just football. Jackson Powers Johnson, or JPJ, has quickly become one of the most respected young players in the locker room. But what makes him truly stand out isn't just his play, it's the family behind him. You can feel that energy. The support, the love, that bond that makes everyone around him want to fight harder. Even the coaching staff feels it. They see his leadership, his dedication, and they know this guy isn't just here to play, he's here to set a standard. Before we dive into the latest Raiders updates, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss the latest news from Raider Nation. Now, let's get into it. That JPJ jersey, signed and sent straight from him, it's more than a gift. It's a reminder of what this team stands for: unity, loyalty, and family. And honestly, that's the kind of mindset the Raiders need more of in the locker room. Because at the end of the day, football isn't just about stats or records. It's about showing up for each other. It's about the kind of heart that keeps you fighting through every Sunday, win or lose.